Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I am Lyndsey, this is Lyndsey's creepy world of Reddit stories. Today we are doing part 3 of the Neighbours Are Weird. This is by PotatoChip411 on Reddit Scary Stories. So we're going to get stuck in because these can get quite long. I pressed my back to the door, my pulse racing. I slid the deadbolt into place with a heavy click, but it did little to calm me. My hands were shaking and I raked them through my hair as if I could pull the memory out of my head, rid myself of whatever I had just seen. Evan and Lily couldn't see me like this, on edge over something that I couldn't even explain. I closed my eyes for a second, steadying myself. Ice cream. Keep things normal. I took a breath, forced my hands to stop trembling and pushed myself off the door. All right, who's ready for ice cream? Evan and Lily cheered, their excitement pulling me out of my haze, but it was short-lived. As I grabbed the ice cream from the freezer, I found myself thinking back to earlier that day, to Marina. She'd been so casual at the barbecue, shrugging off the neighbours like Greg had. But at the pool, the second I mentioned the voices, she changed completely. Her eyes, her posture, she'd gone from indifferent to intensely curious in a heartbeat. It didn't add up. Dad! Evan's voice snapped me back to the present. I blinked, realising that I was holding the ice cream scoop halfway to the bowl, frozen in place. Sorry, buddy, I said, finishing the scoop and handing it to him. I passed Lily hers next, the two of them diving into their bowls with enthusiasm, oblivious to the whirlwind of thoughts in my head. I sat with them at the table, watching as they joked around, making faces with their spoons and giggling like only kids can. Their laughter was a welcome distraction, grounding me, at least for a moment. I couldn't shake the urge to look at the kitchen window, unsettled by what might be happening just outside my view. After I washed the dishes, I got the kids into bed, their faces sticky with ice cream and sleepy smiles. I kissed them goodnight, and as I walked back to my room, I noticed that the house was strangely quiet and the silence pressed into me. No voices tonight, no strange sounds at all. Just the weight of my own fear, and it kept me awake, wide awake. I laid there all night staring at the ceiling, my heart racing in the dark. My body refused to relax, but at some point exhaustion must have taken over and I must have dozed off for an hour, maybe less, before the early light started creeping in through the blinds. I sat up, my head still foggy, and noticed yet again that the house was quiet. Too quiet. No signs from Evan or Lily. They were always up before me, but today nothing. I pulled myself out of bed and headed for Evan's room first. His door was slightly ajar, and when I pushed it open, I was met with an empty bed. Oh no. My heart stuttered. Maybe he was already up. I moved quickly to Lily's room. The door swung open, revealing another perfectly made bed. Evan, Lily, I called out, trying to keep my voice steady as I checked the bathroom, then their shared playroom. Each room I entered felt colder, more hollow. My calls were met with silence. I started moving faster, my pulse hammering in my ears. The living room, empty. Kitchen, empty. I called their names again, louder this time, still nothing. I threw open closets, checked under furniture, hoping they were playing hide and seek or something, but each empty space only made my panic worse. I burst through the front door, ready to scream their names into the street, when I saw them. They were standing in the neighbour's yard. My heart stopped. Evan and Lily, smiling, chatting with a woman and man I'd never seen before. A flower in Lily's hand, a toy truck in Evan's. For a second I didn't move. I couldn't breathe. Then when the man and woman looked up, their smiles stretching unnaturally wide, I snapped back into motion. What are you doing? I shouted, sprinting across the lawn, scooping up Evan in one quick motion. Get inside now! Lily turned to me confused, but she didn't resist when I pulled her away. My eyes locked onto the neighbours and I couldn't shake the horror creeping up my spine. They were just standing there, staring, smiling. The wind whipped through the yard, but their hair didn't move. Their eyes didn't blink. Stay away from my kids, I spat, clutching Evan and Lily close as I backed towards the house. But the man and woman didn't say a word. They just stood there. I yanked the kids inside, shutting the door hard behind me. The image of those grinning, sorry excuses for humans burned in my brain. I crouched down to Evan and Lily's level. trying to calm my voice even though everything in me was screaming. Listen, I said, looking between them. I need you to both pack your bags. Mum's going to come and pick you up. I'll explain another time. They stared at me confused, but I wasn't in the mood for explaining. Not yet. Go, I said, firmer this time. Now. Lily hesitated for a moment, looking like she was about to argue. But Evan tugged her arm and they hurried into their rooms. I straightened up and pulled out my phone, pacing the kitchen as I dialed their mum. It rang twice before she picked up. Hey? Her voice sounded wary, like she knew this wasn't going to be a friendly chat. I need you to come and get the kids, I said, cutting right to it. Something's come up. I can't explain right now, but it's important. There was a pause on the other end. What? What do you mean something's come up? You're not bailing on them, are you? The frustration in her voice was clear, but I didn't have time for that. No, it's not that. I just, look, trust me, okay? I need you to come get them, please. Fine, she sighed heavily, but I swear if this is some half-assed excuse, it's not, I said, sharper than I meant to. Just get here now. She hung up without another word, and I could feel my stomach twisting. I didn't know how much time I had before whatever was happening got worse. I wasn't about to let the kids stay here any longer. Evan and Lily came back with their little backpacks slung over their shoulders, both looking at me like they wanted answers. I gave them a tight smile, trying to hide my panic. Mum's on her way, I said, running a hand through my hair. Just need you guys to go with her for a bit. You're going to stay at her place and I'll call later, okay? Evan frowned. But why, Dad? I didn't know how to explain it. Not in a way that made sense, so I just nodded. It's just for a little while, I promise. When their mum finally pulled into the driveway, I hurried them out the door, not even giving her a chance to ask questions. I could see her irritation simmering beneath the surface as she loaded the kids into the car with Todd. They both shot me looks that could kill, but I didn't care. Let them be pissed. I just needed the kids out of here. As they drove away, I watched the car until it disappeared around the corner, the knot in my chest loosening just slightly. But that feeling of panic was still there. I couldn't stay in the house anymore, not without answers. Without thinking twice, I ran over to Craig and Marina's place, my hand banging hard on the door. Craig opened the door, blinking at me, clearly not expecting to see me there. Oh man, are you good? I need to speak to Marina, I said out of breath, skipping any pleasantries. He looked confused and... Marina? Why? Please, Craig, just go get her. And that's where part 3 ends. And you're going to have to wait till the next video for part 4. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know of any of your own scary stories. You can send them to lindseysworld21@gmail.com. See you next time.